What's up everybody, Ramey here, and today what we're talking about is the Rogue 4G-CN bar, multi-grip bar, that I picked up over Black Friday. They had a huge sale because they were clearing these out for their new version. So I'm going to review this bar. I'm going to talk about what I like, what I don't like, and I'm also going to talk about the new bar and whether I think it's worth buying this versus something else. So first of all, I got this bar on Black Friday. This is I got the stainless steel sleeves that you can see here, and this is the 9-inch version. Here's the end cap. There is a 15-inch sleeve version as well, but unless you're lifting many plates, 9-inch is perfect, and I'll kind of talk about that. I paid $225 for this bar. That's how much it was pre-tax, pre-shipping. With the extra set of handles that I bought, because you can see I have 4 handles here. It came with 2 straight. These 2 handles, plus shipping, plus tax, total was $360 out the door for this. Current bar does come with 2 handles, but just the 9-inch version and the black matte sleeves is $395. The stainless steel brings that up to $515. So we're talking about a pretty pricey bar if you buy this new. And I'll kind of talk about the differences of the new one if I think they're worth it. So first of all, I've talked about multi-grip bars before. I got my Titan bar behind me. But the reason that you buy these bars is so that you can mimic things like dumbbells, basically have your hands in a neutral position, which for some people can help with shoulder problems. It's also great for things like close grip bench press, like you want to work your tris and stuff like that. Feels like dumbbells to me, which is why I love these bars. For me, it mixes up bench. I've got a bad shoulder. Actually, this is my bad shoulder. And using this when I like to bench twice a week, I'll do bench press regular one day. Next day, I'll either use dumbbells, or I've actually been using this because I can get a lot heavier on it. But it just changes things up on my shoulder enough to make me want to do it. I also like variation. These kind of bars are great for things like, you can do all kinds of things with it. You can do curls with it. You can do rows with it. Lots of different things, lots of reasons why people buy these bars. So I don't want to get into the reasons people buy these bars, because I want to talk about and review this specific bar. So first of all, this bar, the cool thing, the reason people like this bar, and one of the neat things about this bar, so first of all, it has handles on it, but the handles are adjustable, which means I can move them around the bar. Let's take a look. So take a look at all these holes. Basically, I can pick where on my bar I want my handles to be, which is really cool, because you can see this bar behind me right here. Most multi-grip bars, you can't do that, so you're just kind of stuck. Like if the handles aren't in a good position for you, well, game over. Like, sorry. Oh, you don't like the angles? Sorry. This bar, oh, you like straight on the way outside? Perfect. You like straight on the inside? Perfect. Oh, you like angled? Wherever? Move them around. So that's why this bar specifically is so cool. It's one of the reasons I like it. There's a couple other reasons I like it, and I'm going to get into that too. It has grips. The grips that I purchased are stainless steel. So these are stainless steel grips. They are, I believe, 32 millimeters. And that actually sounds really big, because I love like a 25-inch, 27-inch, like for deadlift, for bench. I'm using a 29-inch power bar. So this seems huge, but I actually like it a lot. It doesn't, I feel like when you go to the side, versus like a bench press, the diameter doesn't matter as much for some reason. And these thick grips feel really nice. And I prefer a small grip. These are stainless steel grips. I'm going to post a picture up of the knurl, but the knurling on these looks like to be 25 TPI, which is this exact same as the regular Ohio bar. However, the knurl on these is much more grippy. And you can see they're like mini volcanoes. This knurl, the knurl of the Agro 2 is, or the deadlift bar, is 16 TPI, but much deeper than the Ohio Power Bar. This is like the Ohio Bar, but also much deeper. So it's like a very grippy Ohio bar. I actually really love this grip. This knurl is super nice, not sharp at all. Would not describe this as sharp. I've got almost an Agro 3 grab bag Ohio power bar over there. Sharp. This is not sharp. This is a nice knurl. This is a great grip knurl. I really like this a lot. I'm not a big fan of sharp. The bar does come with a wrench because you have to put the sleeves on yourself, so it only takes a minute. It took me a minute to build this bar when it came. But it does come with a big wrench, which I thought was kind of funny. Anyway, so let's talk about the bar itself and not the wrench. So, all right, so I talked about the handles. Now, one of the unusual things about the handles of this bar, which is interesting, is so while this bar, the sizing of this bar is absolutely perfect for me. I do not like wide grip bench press. I cannot do wide grip stuff. It is terrible for my AC joint and terrible for my shoulder. And both of mine on this shoulder are terrible. But for some of you, just the way you're built, wide stuff is better for you. The problem, and one of the very odd choices Rogue made with this bar, and I'm going to show you right here, that you can see the holes stop. And then there's just nothing. Show you a little better picture over here so that you can really get a look at that. Look at this. This makes no sense. The holes stop right here, but there's inches of space, about 3 inches of space that right here where they could make it just a little wider for people. Why they chose to do that, I don't know. They also did not put a hole right here. I get that that would be on a weld, but other companies have been able to put holes there. So it's like they didn't put a hole here, and they didn't put like 2 to 3 holes here, which kind of makes no sense. And there are a lot of do-it-yourself people putting 2 to 3 holes right here for themselves that said it made a huge difference for them, and they're very glad they did it. So kind of an odd choice by Rogue. Personally, none of those affect me at all. I do wish the hole was here. I probably wouldn't use it because I'm actually only using these outer holes. I'm not even using the inside. I prefer this bar for the inside anyway, inside grip, because I like curved, the angle handles better personally. But just an odd choice by Rogue. Just a little strange. I don't know why they did it. Probably the other, besides being able to move the handles around, the coolest thing about this bar is the size. So let me show you. I've got a Titan multi-grip bar here, right next to me. You can just see the difference between these two bars in size is enormous. And this is the standard size of most multi-grip barbells that you buy from anyone. So this multi-grip bar is just so much smaller. I mean, inches off the length, thickness, it just feels like it's so much more maneuverable around my gym, in my squat rack, getting it in and out of places. Much better. I appreciate that, and that's one of the reasons I really like it. So the two big selling points for me on this bar were the ability to adjust where I wanted the handles. Well, I guess there's 3 points, 3 things that I really like. The ability to move where the handles are is one. So the ability to pick where the handles are. The ability to pick angles versus straight, and even different degree of angles. And finally, the maneuverability of the bar. 3 big selling points. And this is just so thin right here that it feels good. Now, so that's the bar itself. Now, how do I like it? Like, what do I think of the balance? So, one of the things that Rogue did on the upgrade, so the upgrade of this bar, what they did, besides now offering it with 2 handles, the other big upgrade that they've done is that the sleeves lock. The sleeves lock. So for some odd reason, Rogue decided to make the sleeves on this bar spin. Now, on a bar you do bench press, you really don't need any spin. Very little minimal spin on a bench press bar. or a bar you do rows with or anything. You just don't need spin. I'm not doing Olympic lifts. I don't want a lot of spin. I see people like spinning their Ohio power bar. Like, look at this. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't want hardly any spin on that bar. And most specialty bars have none. Like my Titan bar over there has no spin. So I don't really care for spin. So on the new bar, Rogue has created the ability, they have a little nut in there that you can tighten and lock the sleeves, which I think is great. I would prefer to have locking sleeves. Now the question is, has that affected me at all on this? So between these two bars that I have here, between all the multi-grip barbells that I've used my whole life, which are many multi-grip, tons of multi-grip barbells. I've used the Rogue one, I have the Titan one there, just a lot of different ones. I've used the Arch Nemesis from Bells of Steel. I haven't noticed a difference in these spinning sleeves between all those that have, the sleeves are fine, and this. Performs exactly the same. There's no spin. It's not like, so if the spin was a lot on this, so what can happen? Let me kind of put this bar right here. So if the sleeves spin on a bar while you're benching, if any of you have ever lifted with an Olympic barbell, what happens is as you come to the top, the sleeves can spin a little too much and almost like throw the bar a little bit, like it like throws it. That doesn't happen with this. In fact, I've lifted several times using the sleeves and they're not really spinning at all. So I haven't noticed anything. I will say, just like every other multi-grip bar, there are times of instability while I'm lifting. I've noticed it with every multi-grip barbell I've ever used, and I notice it with this just as much. So it definitely is still, this has just as much instability as any other multi-grip barbell that I've ever used in my entire life. But no less either. Okay, now let's talk about, would I recommend you buy this? So, or versus like this right here. So, and that's where this gets a little interesting. So for the price I paid, I 100% think this bar is worth it. Man, I paid $360 out the door for a smaller bar than this that is more maneuverable, that I can pick if I want angled versus straight handles, and I can pick where they are. So for that reason, the bar that I had, this multi-grip, was worth it. Now, at the current price, I think it's a way, way, way tougher sell for me. This bar that I bought from Titan right here, this multi-grip, I paid $130 for it off Titan's website on sale. And it's regularly that price. I'm scratching that and at Titan. So, you know, this bar is double the price that I paid on a cheap sale. So I think that the price that I paid for this on sale, this bar is 100% worth it. I think if I were buying a multi-grip barbell and I saw that this had like a $400 to $600 price tag versus a $130 bar here, if I wanted it curved with that camber on it, the Arch Nemesis would be fine. It's like a $200 bar. There's plenty of generic ones on Amazon, which I don't know if I'd recommend those. I haven't used those before, but they look okay. I'd probably lean towards those. Now, if this was going to be my only movement, my only bench press movement, and I'm doing heavy weight, like I'm putting up 3 plates, like 315, this would be more of a consideration versus like that Amazon one. But like this bar, there's $130. It's going to, I mean, I get this is a straight bar. You want the Arch Nemesis, which has a camber in it if you're really comparing these two. Man, a $200 bar versus like $400 to $600, it's a lot of money. You know, it is. It is a lot of money. So I think that that's where the whole like, is it worth it for me? I mean, I think like this is a cool bar for $225 and I paid $360 for it. I think $360 is like pushing it. I think it's a lot. I think it's a nice like I think it's a nice lifestyle upgrade for me in that I can it's smaller, more maneuverable, and I can change the grips. I think that's cool. But I think we're talking about like $500 for this. That's where it starts, like, I'm starting to lose value in it. And I personally would not buy this bar for $500. I would not buy it for $500. I think $360 was like a lot already. Considering this was $130 and it basically does the same thing. I can get the Arch Nemesis for $200 and it does the same thing for the most part. Arch Nemesis is going to be fine. So, should you buy this? You know, I think also if you like the wide grip, like the fact that the Rogue didn't, even on the newest version, they still didn't fix that with the holes. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't fix that, because that was the complaint at the bar. No one was complaining about the sleeves that I know of. I didn't hear anyone complain about the sleeves on this spinning versus not. But if you can choose, you'd obviously want the one that spins or doesn't. And I think most people just keep them locked. But like, I didn't hear people complaining about that. People were complaining about the holes and they didn't fix that. They also like put like plastic washers on the new one, which mine came with. I don't know. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on this bar. I really like it. I'm so happy I could pick where my hands were. I love the maneuverability. I really like everything about this bar. For me, it's great. I'm glad the price I paid for it. I think at the current price, man. I mean, I just looked that up again. You know, stainless steel, 9-inch sleeves, $515 before tax and shipping. We're talking about $600 shipped to your door. That's almost double what I paid for it. Whew. That was $130. Arch Nemesis is $200. It's tough to justify that much more money, triple the price, when we're getting pretty much the same functionality. So those are my thoughts on the bar. I'd love to hear what you guys think. For those of you guys that got this on the Black Friday special, man, you guys got a great deal because I got it, and it was $225 for this. Is just, that was great when Rogue was clearing it out. Great deal. Good job, y'all. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Later, everybody.